Ladies and gentlemen, saints of the Most High God, listen to me. I don't know what storm you're walking through. I don't know what fear is whispering in your ear, but I came to tell somebody tonight, don't let fear win. Focus on your calling from God. Fear is crafty. It doesn't kick down the door with thunder and lightning. It creeps in through the cracks. It whispers when no one else is speaking. It wraps itself around your thoughts in the midnight hour when you're lying in bed, wondering if you've got what it takes to do what God has called you to do. Fear is not loud because it doesn't have to be. It works in silence, feeding your insecurities, magnifying your past, exaggerating your flaws. But hear me, fear is a liar. It speaks with the voice of truth, but it holds no truth. It poses as wisdom, but it's rooted in bondage. It shows you the risk, but hides the reward. And if you're not careful, you will begin to treat fear like a trusted advisor instead of recognizing it as the spiritual warfare it is. God never gave you fear. It didn't come from heaven, so stop giving it a place in your plans. You weren't born with it. You were taught it. You picked it up in broken places, in moments of rejection, in seasons of failure, and now you carry it like it belongs to you. But the devil is a liar. You've got to learn how to talk back to fear. You've got to confront it with the authority of the Spirit of God that lives inside of you. You can't just pray about your calling. You've got to fight for it. And fear is your first opponent. It will show up dressed like common sense, like logic, like caution. But deep down, it's trying to paralyze the promise on your life. You cannot let fear govern your decisions and still walk in faith. One will cancel the other. Fear builds fences, but faith builds bridges. Fear locks doors, but faith walks through walls. Fear tells you to sit down, but faith calls you to stand up. And the question is not, will fear speak? It's, will you let it decide? Will you let it decide who you are? Will you let it decide how far you go? Will you let it talk you out of what God already put in motion? You've got too much destiny to be dancing with doubt. You've got too much oil on your life to be entertaining lies. I know fear sounds convincing, but it has no power unless you hand it the keys. Don't give it space. Don't give it breath. Don't give it your future. You were not created to be a prisoner of what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. You were created to walk in boldness, in power, in divine authority. Fear will always show up at the door of your destiny, but it doesn't have to come in. You have the right to shut it down, to starve it, to strip it of its influence. So speak life over yourself. Remind fear who your God is. And when it tries to rise up again, you look it in the face and say, asterisk, not this time, not today. I'm moving forward and you're not coming with me. Asterisk, you've been walking around wondering if you have enough strength, enough wisdom, enough talent, enough grace. You've been staring at your reflection, measuring yourself against the size of your calling, and you've come up short in your own eyes. But let me remind you of something powerful. Asterisk, asterisk, God has already equipped you, asterisk, asterisk. Before you ever took your first breath, before you ever knew what your name would be, before the pain, before the pressure, before the fear, asterisk, asterisk, He called you, and He equipped you, asterisk, asterisk. You don't have to hustle for what heaven has already handed you. You don't have to beg for what's already been deposited inside of you. God didn't call you and then leave you empty-handed. He didn't speak destiny over your life and forget to give you what you need to fulfill it. The very fact that you're still standing after the heartache, after the betrayal, after the battles nobody even knows about, is proof that God put something in you that's stronger than what came against you. He gave you power, not just natural power, not just human ability, but supernatural power, the kind that shows up when your strength runs out, the kind that makes you stand when you feel like collapsing, the kind that pushes you forward when fear is pulling you back. You've been walking around trying to borrow courage from people who don't even know your purpose, when God has already given you the power to move mountains with your own faith. He gave you love, not just a feeling, but a force, a love that silences shame, a love that drives out fear, a love that reminds you that you are chosen, cherished, and called. You don't need the world's validation when you're grounded in the love of God. You don't need applause when heaven already approved you. That love is your anchor in the storm. It's your reminder when the enemy says you're not enough, that God already said you are mine, and He gave you a sound mind. A stable mind, a mind that can focus when distractions come, a mind that can discern when confusion tries to settle in. You've been doubting yourself because you forgot who authored your identity. God didn't call the qualified. He qualified the called, and that sound mind, that divine clarity, is your weapon in a world full of noise. When fear tries to fog your vision, your sound mind brings you back to the truth of who you are. So stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to walk in your calling. Stop asking fear if you're ready. You're already equipped. You're already empowered. You're already approved by the one who matters most. God didn't make a mistake when He picked you. He saw your flaws, your failures, your brokenness, and He still said, asterisk, that one's mine, asterisk, so walk boldly, speak freely, move faithfully. Because what God has put in you is more than enough. You've got too many things pulling on you, too many voices talking at you, too many distractions trying to drag your attention away from what matters. And if the enemy can't destroy you, he'll try to divide your focus, because he knows if he can keep your eyes off Jesus, he can keep your feet stuck in place. Let me tell you something, asterisk, asterisk, you've got to focus. Asterisk, asterisk, not just with your eyes, but with your spirit. Not just with your time, but with your whole life. Focus is not just what you do, it's how you fight. It's how you push back the noise and say, asterisk, I will not be moved. Asterisk, you see, you can't walk in power and be distracted at the same time. You can't chase your calling and chase approval at the same time. You can't pursue God's plan and worry about everybody's opinion at the same time. You've got to pick where your attention goes. You've got to make up your mind, asterisk, I will lift up my eyes to the hills from where my help comes. Asterisk, your help doesn't come from the news, it doesn't come from social media, it doesn't come from people who don't know your struggle. It comes from the Lord. And the enemy wants you looking everywhere except where the power is. He wants you looking at the storm, at the bills, at the sickness, at the betrayal, because if he can get your eyes, he can steal your faith. But the devil is a liar. The moment Peter took his eyes off Jesus, he started to sink. Not because the storm got stronger, but because his focus got weaker. And some of you are sinking, not because you're unworthy, not because you're unprepared, but because you've been focusing on the wrong thing. You don't need new strength. You need renewed focus. You don't need a new word. You need to remember the one God already spoke. You don't need to figure everything out. You need to fix your eyes. When you focus on Jesus, the waves still crash, the wind still blows, but your spirit stands. Your purpose stands, your peace stands, because what's in front of you becomes smaller when you focus on the one who's above you. And I know life tries to pull you every which way. People pulling, problems pulling, pain pulling. But hear me, asterisk, asterisk, you cannot let everything that screams for your attention steal the clarity of your assignment. Asterisk, asterisk, your calling isn't up for debate. Your purpose isn't on the table. You were created for a reason, and your focus is the fuel that will drive you toward it. It's not about being perfect, it's about being pointed. It's about saying, asterisk, though none go with me, still I will follow. Asterisk, so block out the noise, shut out the doubt, turn down the volume on everything that doesn't echo heaven. Set your eyes like flint and don't look back, because where your focus goes, your future flows. And if you keep your eyes on Jesus, asterisk, asterisk, there's no storm that can stop what God has already set in motion. Asterisk, asterisk, you were not an accident. You didn't just show up on the earth by chance, wandering through life with no direction, no meaning, no divine purpose. The creator of the universe, the one who stretched the heavens and poured out the oceans, he thought of you, formed you, chose you, and called you. You've been walking around like you're optional, but God says you're essential. You've been shrinking back like you're disposable, but heaven says you're irreplaceable. Your calling is not a maybe. It is not a coincidence. It is intentional. It is divine. Before you ever spoke your first word, God had already spoken destiny over your life. Before you were knit together in your mother's womb, purpose was already stitched into your spirit. You don't have to earn it, and you don't have to fight for it. It was given, it was spoken, it was assigned, and what God assigns, man can't cancel. They can talk about you, they can misunderstand you. They can reject you, but they cannot remove the oil God has placed on your life. You don't need permission from people to walk in what heaven already approved. Stop waiting for someone to affirm what God has already announced. Stop apologizing for your anointing. Stop dimming your light because it makes other people uncomfortable. You were never called to blend in. You were called to stand out, to rise up, to shine, to break chains and carry glory. And if that intimidates small minds, let it. You weren't designed to fit their box anyway. When you understand that your calling is divine, you stop wasting time comparing yourself to others. You stop chasing titles and start chasing truth. Because it's not about status, it's about stewardship. It's not about being famous, it's about being faithful. You don't need a stage to be called. You don't need a microphone to carry power. All you need is the revelation that what's inside of you came from God, and it cannot be undone. You are called. That means there's a reason you survived what others didn't. There's a reason you're still breathing after all the hell you've walked through. That's not just grace, that's purpose, that's destiny. That's divine intention. And the enemy has been trying to distract you, delay you, discourage you, because he knows that when you finally believe what God says about you, there will be nothing he can do to stop you. So stop letting fear speak louder than your faith. Stop letting your past hold a pen to your future. Your calling is not a suggestion. It's a mandate, and it's time to walk in it. Not next year, not when you feel ready, asterisk, asterisk, now, asterisk, asterisk. Now is the time. This is the moment. You've been chosen, appointed, and anointed. Heaven's hand is on you, and no weapon formed against you will prosper. Don't you dare doubt what God decided. You are here on purpose, with purpose for purpose. And it's time to live like it. You've been praying for the promise, asking for the blessing, waiting on the breakthrough. But let me ask you something. Are you asterisk willing to move asterisk? Because it's not enough to know you're called. It's not enough to believe you're chosen. At some point, you've got to asterisk, asterisk, act asterisk, asterisk like it. You've got to take bold steps even when the path isn't clear. You've got to move forward even when fear is screaming in your ears. You've got to rise up and say, asterisk, I may not feel ready, but I'm going anyway. Asterisk, God doesn't need you to have it all figured out. He needs your yes. He needs your obedience. He needs you to move even when your knees are shaking. Boldness, isn't the absence of fear. Boldness is the refusal to be ruled by it. You don't wait for fear to go away. You push through it, walk past it, and declare, asterisk, you won't control me anymore. Asterisk, the enemy wants you stuck, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect support, the perfect confidence. But let me tell you, there will never be a perfect time to step into your purpose. Asterisk, asterisk, you make the time perfect by stepping into it. Asterisk, asterisk, you were never meant to sit on the sidelines of your own calling. You've been equipped. You've been empowered. And now it's time to asterisk, asterisk, move asterisk, asterisk. Not with hesitation, not with apology, with boldness, with authority, with fire in your belly and faith in your heart. You've cried long enough. You've questioned long enough. You've doubted long enough. Now it's time to get up and walk. Like the man at the pool of Bethesda, you've been lying there, waiting for someone to help you in. But the word came to him and said, asterisk, pick up your bed and walk. Asterisk, that means the power to move was already in him. He just needed the push. Some of you are waiting for confirmation, but deep down, you already know what God said. You already heard the call. You already felt the tug. You already saw the vision. You don't need another sign. You need to take the first step. And let me tell you something, the waters won't part until your foot hits the sea. The provision won't come until you walk toward the promise. God responds to faith in motion. That's why you can't let comfort be your God. You can't let safety be your savior. You've got to risk something. You've got to stretch. You've got to walk like it's already done. Because when you move, heaven moves with you. When you step out, angels go before you. When you obey, doors swing open that no man can shut. So stop letting fear write your story. Stop letting doubt set your pace. You were born to shake the earth. You were created to disrupt darkness, and it starts with one bold step, one brave decision, one act of obedience that says, asterisk, God, I trust you more than I trust my fear. Asterisk, so move. Don't wait, don't shrink, don't second, guess, asterisk, asterisk, move asterisk, asterisk, and watch everything start to shift. It's not just about you, that thing God put inside you, the calling, the fire, the anointing. It's bigger than your comfort. It's bigger than your convenience. It's bigger than your calendar. Asterisk, asterisk, your purpose is bigger than you. Asterisk, asterisk, this is not about ego. This is about assignment. This is not about recognition. This is about responsibility. Because what God placed in you isn't just meant to bless you. It's meant to asterisk, asterisk, bless somebody else, asterisk, asterisk. There are lives attached to your obedience. There are destinies connected to your decision to move forward. You've been looking at your calling through the lens of your limitations, but what you carry isn't limited by you. It's fueled by heaven, and heaven never invests without expecting a return. God planted purpose in you because He intends for it to grow, to impact, to overflow. You weren't just called to survive. You were called to deliver something, to build something, to shift something. You've been assigned to a generation. You've been equipped to break chains, and you can't afford to play small when others are waiting on what God put in you. You've got something in your spirit that was designed to answer someone else's cry. You've got a word that will break depression off someone's life. You've got a testimony that will show someone how to survive what tried to kill them. But the enemy wants you so distracted by your own issues that you forget how many people are tied to your breakthrough. He wants you stuck in insecurity so you never step into influence. He wants you bound by fear so the gift in you never reaches the world around you. But this thing God gave you, it's not just for you. That dream, that idea, that message, that business, that ministry, It's a lifeline for somebody else. You may never see their face, never hear their name, but they will feel the impact of your yes. Every time you choose obedience over comfort, every time you say yes in spite of fear, every time you speak up when it would be easier to stay silent, you shake the kingdom of darkness, because your life is not your own. It's a vessel for glory. You are born to make a difference, and the weight you feel is not just the pressure of expectation. It's the gravity of purpose. It's the pull of destiny, and you've got to decide. Will you bury what God gave you, or will you multiply it? Will you sit on your gift, or will you let it speak? Will you hoard what heaven placed in your hands, or will you pour it out like oil on the altar? The world doesn't need a copy of somebody else. It needs the *** real you ***, walking in the fullness of your calling. Don't you dare rob the earth of your voice. Don't let fear steal your fire. Don't let comfort kill your calling. What you carry matters, and it's time to walk like someone's deliverance depends on your obedience, because it does.